Greetings, comrades. Some comrades on Twitter Space, they call themselves the patriots. They've been saying, "No, Comrade Mapena, you hear your countrymen appeared in court, record a video." No, we are recording the video. You will know that we did a video uh, on the investigation by the Department of Home Affairs. They said they informed the portfolio committee that about 300,000 visas and permanent residents are fraudulent. And there is an investigation to understand how deep this problem is. And the minister, when he addressed the media during the week, he said they are crocodiles. Some are calling some of us crocodiles. But on a serious note, the minister says they are crocodiles, referring to people that have deep pockets, who occupy senior positions in government agencies, like the case of Kuda Mpofu, and who are occupying in the corporate world. Some are running companies that are using documents which are fraudulent. So you remember the story of Kuda Mpofu, was employed by a government agency in Northwest Province. We had taken the Minister of Home Affairs to court over his documents, and the minister said the document in question is fraudulent. It is not in their system. We are following this case with keen interest. We have also advised that if you want to apply for a permanent residence, there is a procedure that you have to follow. You don't have to go through the back door. We do not support any person that is using fraudulent documents. This is why we negotiated for the granting of special permits so that people will use documents that are legitimate, documents that are not fraudulent. So you will understand that the holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits, in the majority, are people of low skill who will ordinarily not qualify for any visas provided for. But because they are now holders of these special permits since 2010, when they applied in 2010, the reason being that they would not ordinarily qualify for other visas. Now they have been asked to apply for waivers, which some of the requirements which will hinder them from moving to other visas are being removed by the minister, which is lawful in terms of the South African Act. So this is why we always insist that as the African Diaspora Forum and the Zimbabwe community, which affiliates to the African Diaspora Forum, we do not support or assist anyone that is caught with fraudulent documents. So we are following closely the case of Kuda Mpofu, was arrested, who was said to be holding or in possession of a fraudulent document. I received a call, an anonymous call. Someone says, Comrade Mapena, I've been watching your video. He says he's from Malawi. He was on a study permit, then was assisted by some officials. They charged him about 13,000 rands to get a permanent residence. So you see, that's the problem that is there, because you have runners that are in touch with the Department of Home Affairs officials that will be charging people these monies. I always tell those that always visit me to say, we have access to the leadership in the Department of Home Affairs, but we do not do corrupt things. We have said if indeed from 2010 or even beyond, before 2010, we have been engaged, working with the officials at the Department of Home Affairs, but we have never done something that is corrupt. I've always said to those that know me that had we used our connections, because we know officials in the Department of Home Affairs would be rich by now, but we don't do these corrupt things. We do not bribe officials. We started working with the Department of Home Affairs when we're negotiating for the political victims way back in 2002 to be granted asylum documents, which many Zimbabweans later on used. But later on, we discovered that even those that were economic migrants were not necessarily, were actually using the asylum documents to use it as a permit to work in South Africa. And we have explained that when they go to Zimbabwe, they'll be carrying those documents. So we approached the government to say, look, while we understand that you are issuing out these asylum documents, but the people that are receiving these documents are not necessarily political victims, but they are economic migrants. How best can you assist people of low skill? Given the economic conditions in Zimbabwe, how can you assist the people of low skill from Zimbabwe so that they are legal in the country? So that's our basis of working with the Department of Home Affairs. And of course, we're happy when special permits were then granted. When in 2010, on the 1st of October, government said people should start applying on the 1st of October 2010. The deadline was 31st of December 2010. And 295,000 people responded. They applied. 245,000 documents were issued. So our work with the Department of Home Affairs is strictly on the basis of ensuring that these people that responded to an amnesty are assisted. To have been negotiating with them for the renewal of special permits, which was done in 2014, done in 2017, and we are still engaged. So our relationship is not a corrupt relationship, because some people will ask and say, Comrade Mabhena, how do you phone an official at the border when someone is probably, remember the video that I actually did not do a video, I actually wrote that someone had met me in a taxi and started telling me that we assisted them, because some officials, when you get to the border, you have a receipt, they want to refuse you entry into South Africa, right? And we are talking of people that have this special permit. This person had a ZSP before the ZEP was now stuck at the port, and we had to phone my first to say, but you said people are allowed to travel when they are carrying these receipts. Why is it now a problem at the port? And then some will now write to Home Affairs to say, investigate Mabhena, who did he speak to? So that's the basis of the relationship that we have. So someone's permit, as it is ZEP, the sticker says it expired on the 31st of December 2021. That's what it says, right? If you look into the sticker. But there have been extensions. So you get an official at the border then say, no, your permit is expired, you can't come to South Africa. Or someone then gets given days. Then we have to ask Department of Home Affairs to say, but there's a directive by the minister which says this person, because it's a hold of a ZEP, is holding a proof, be it a proof of a waiver that they've applied for a waiver, they are holding a receipt, but your officials are refusing this person entry. That's the nature of the relationship we have. So this alarmist by some to say, investigate Mabhena and his team, they are involved in a corrupt relationship with Home Affairs. It's not. And if indeed you are corrupt, would be rich. So a person pays 13,000. Like this guy, says to me, Comrade Mabhena, I paid 13,000. They took me inside Home Affairs. I now have this permanent residence. I don't know whether it is legit or not. Some people have paid 20,000, some 25,000. I was alarmed when someone says they've paid about 45,000. That's corruption at its best. So as the leadership of the African Diaspora Forum, we do not support such. So our relationship with the Department of Home Affairs is to ensure that what it has committed itself to do, it does it. In terms of protecting the holders of the Zimbabwe exemption permits, so that the banks do not close down their accounts. And we have done a number of videos giving people advice to say, if your bank account has been closed, simply go to the website of Home Affairs, print out Directive 4 of 2023, which explains the extension of the Zimbabwe exemption permit, even if it is not clear. It in your sticker it says it expired 31st December 2021, but it is still valid as per the directive, and that's it. So we are indeed following closely the case of Kudawashe Mpofu, who was arrested and it's quite an interesting case that we are following. We are we are not crocodiles. We have a good relationship, I must say, with the Department of Home Affairs. Yes, sometimes we get disappointed, but it is based on what the Department of Home Affairs has pronounced on. Please write your comments in the comment section, like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, please do follow us. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.